Our speaker today is a remarkable person, an inventor, entrepreneur, and tireless advocate for science and technology. Many people think of him as the guy who invented the Segway. And while the Segway's human transporter is a remarkable achievement, his work is much more than that. As an inventor, he holds more than 440 patents, both US and foreign, many of them for innovative medical devices that have expanded the frontiers of healthcare worldwide. While still a college undergraduate, he invented the first wearable infusion pump, which rapidly gained acceptance from such diverse medical specialties as chemotherapy, neonatology, and endocrinology. In 1976, he founded his first medical device company, Autosyringe Incorporated, to manufacture and market medical pumps. At age 30, he sold that company to Baxter Healthcare. By then, he had added a number of other infusion devices, including the first wearable insulin infusion pump for diabetics. Following the sale of Autosyringe, he founded DEKA Research and Development Corporation to develop internally generated inventions, we'll get the right page here, as well as to provide research and development for major corporations. In addition, DEKA Research and Development Corporation, one of Dean's proudest accomplishments, is founding FIRST, for inspiration and recognition of science and technology, an organization dedicated to motivating the next generation to understand and use and enjoy science and technology, where he has been inspiring young people, many of them associated with SUNYIT, for many years. This year, more than 300,000 high school students participated in FIRST competitions around the world. More than 50 countries were involved this year. Those students are all eligible for scholarships to various colleges and universities, some of them here, and I believe we have one or two of them here today. Total amount of those scholarships to colleges and universities is $15 million now, a tremendous contribution to helping folks attend higher education. Studies have shown that FIRST inspires the next generation of technological leaders because FIRST alumni are highly motivated to pursue careers in science and engineering, as well as succeed in technological fields. He is a recipient of the National Medal of Technology presented by President Clinton in 2000, recognizing inventions that have advanced medical care worldwide and for innovative and imaginative leadership in awakening America to the excitement of science and technology. He is a recipient of the Lemelson MIT Prize and a National Inventors Hall of Fame inductee. His many other honors and recognition are too numerous to mention here. His passion for technology and its practical uses has driven his personal determination to spread the word about technology's virtues. In doing so, he has changed our culture and the world in which we live. Please join me in welcoming to SUNYIT our commencement speaker and entrepreneur, inventor, and advocate, Dean Kamen.
Thank you. What Dr. Durgan didn't tell you was I spent the best 5 years of my life as a freshman at WPI when he was a professor there and never got to do this. This is payback. When I've been asked to do a commencement address, it typically goes something like this. We have a bunch of students about to go out into the world. You've been successful at some things. We'd like to ask you to give them some advice on how to do that. I will try to do that, but before that, I can't help but make a few observations and maybe voice a concern or two, having now seen a number of graduations. My first observation to all of you students is that deep down, this day has very little to do with you. It's all about mom and dad, grandma, grandpa. Think about it. From the time you were little kids, your parents loved to dress you up, think of your first birthdays. They put you in silly hats. They prance you around. They take pictures of you. This is just that. Parents are unusual. They get their kicks doing the weirdest things. I got a pair of my own. Today really is not about you. It really is about all the people that helped you get here. And maybe they do deserve to see the fruits of their efforts. So that's just an observation. My concern is a little more serious. Throughout the process, they've been telling you, and I think you've been telling yourselves, you've all worked really hard, which I hope you did. If you didn't, you wasted a lot of time and a lot of money. But typically, commencement speakers come out and they echo the voice of all the other people that, well-meaning as they are, your parents. They tell you, now you've worked hard. Now you've got all these tools. Now it's your turn to go out and conquer the world. I think that's a really bad message. Of course, you worked hard, and hopefully you have some extraordinary tools now. But the last thing this world needs is conquering. This world is on life support. It needs nurturing. And who's going to do it? There are 2 billion people on this planet that get up every day looking for water so their kids don't die. There's nearly that many people alive today that have never used electricity. They can't solve the world's problems. They can't solve their own. There is a very, very, very small group of people that is as fortunate, as privileged as you. You have the most valuable tool anybody can have in education. But using that tool as a weapon to take from the world what you could, as opposed to using that tool to build and create more value and wealth in the world. There's a big difference. We've seen a couple of decades where smart kids took the tools they have and figured out how to extract enormous value from this world of ours without putting much back. We've had banking crises, we've had all sorts of crises, which we act surprised about. There's nothing complicated about that. When I was a little kid, I understood that because my grandfather once said to me, make sure every day you give back a little more than you take out. If with all this power and education you have, if that's what all the smart, educated people around the world do, take out, sooner or later, the environment, whether it's water, food, energy, oil, gold, if everybody's trying to take from this global community of ours, sooner or later, as the population grows, everybody will have less until nobody has anything. But as my grandfather said, if every day you put back a little more than you take out, then the world gets bigger and better and richer every day. And the great thing about education is it's the only tool that allows you to do that. Because there's only so much water and so much gold and so much oil, so we need to take that. But education isn't stuff, it's ideas. It's not a zero-sum game. If you have a good idea to solve a problem, somebody else has a different good idea to solve a different problem, each one of you has one idea. When each of you puts the idea out to the other, at the end of the day, each of you has 2 good ideas. You're curing a disease. You found a way to make energy without destroying the environment. We all win. With 7 billion people on this planet, I go to bed a lot happier knowing that a reasonable portion of them are trying to add value, add ideas, add solutions every day, rather than take this fragile community of ours, keep sucking the energy out of it. But it is the educated people that have to lead that, not just in technology and in solving problems, but as citizens, as business leaders, as political leaders. We really have to have a fundamental change in how we deal with this tool of education, because you ought to see it as a privilege and not an opportunity to take. So, I can't stand here and say, it's now your turn, go out and come. I can say you've worked hard, you have the tools, now it's time to start giving back by using them properly. Finally, on to what I've been told I'm supposed to do. Give you advice on how to succeed. I always find that one odd. They've had you for 4 years. They've taken all your time and all your money. Now I'm supposed to tell you how to succeed, you know. But I take those requests seriously. I really do. I think about what it takes to succeed in life. I think about it a lot. So I've made a short list, because it's hard to do. I've made a short list of the 100 things you need to do to assure that you'll be successful. But I know you want to graduate and get out of here, so I'll go through that list of 100 things really fast. Number 1, find something important to do. There are a lot of problems out there. Find something that you're passionate about that's a big, important problem, and go try to solve it. That might sound easy. It's actually pretty hard. Frankly, most of the people with a lot more experience than you are probably better equipped to figure out what the big problems are, because experience is on their side. But most of them have way less capacity to actually solve those problems than you, despite their experience. Because you have more time, more energy, a whole career in front of you to do it. You're standing on the shoulders of giants. You're starting with an education that they never had. The biology labs they do in high school today, DNA test, you would win the Nobel Prize 30 years ago for doing stuff that high school students do now in computing, or biology, or nanotech, or proteomics, or genomics. So you have a big advantage, despite lack of experience. Time, energy, education. But you may not know what's the big problem that you're going to be passionate enough about to go solve it. So I would urge you all, think hard, because you get one life. Make sure what you're doing is worth giving up your time to do. And by the way, if you come up with a big problem that you really want to work on, be careful. Everybody's going to try to dissuade you. Even people that care about you, your parents, your advisors. Because if you come up with a really big problem that's worth solving, it means it hasn't been solved yet. You know what that means? It's tough, because all the easy stuff's been done. The wheel, movable type, the TV clicker, they're all here. You'll sort of know you have the right problem when most people tell you don't do that. Your parents want to protect you from failure. Your friends want to help you get the easy path. Don't let them dissuade you. Keep going until either you're convinced it can't be done or you see somebody else has solved that one. Be passionate about it. Learn to live with failure. Learn to live with maybe people mocking you. It'll just make it all the sweeter when you succeed. So number one, don't waste your time on anything that's not important. Number two, don't ever give up. Here's the best news of the day. The other 98, they don't matter. They just don't matter. And remember, you'll all go out and make a nice living doing what you do, but you'll make your life by what you give back. Have a great life.